Sorry. 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 If you're offended, sorry. 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 If you're offended, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sorry If You're Offended podcast. It is Saturday, May 30th. This is episode 16. I don't know. I'm going to edit this out when I find out.
I think it's 16 or 17 at least. Dakota was 12.
Oh, yeah, it's 16. We're on episode 16. And we have a guest today, ladies and gentlemen. Darnell, Nelly, Harris.
How y'all doing today?
Woo. Not only that, but exciting news. We're back in the studio.
Yes, we are back in the studio.
We're breaking the quarantine.
It's good to be out the house. Let me just say that. Thanks for the invite, guys.
Oh yes,
thanks
for
coming,
sure,
man. It's so good to see people that aren't my roommates. It's unbelievable.
I know it's a great feel.
Turn him. He's the third one. Turn him up just a little bit to the right. Yeah. Yep. All right. So we're going to start off this episode with just a couple topics that will kind of touch on previous episodes. So you probably might not know everything about it. So we'll kind of fill you in a little bit too about like other stuff that we've talked about, these things. So I guess let's start it off with an NPR article. This ties in with one of the past episodes where we talk about Elon Musk. We've talked about him multiple times about him. What have we talked to him about? Him going crazy, I think, with his tweets. We talked about that,
We
right?
talked about that. Yeah, we talked about him tanking Tesla's shares when he started tweeting stuff.
Yep.
Talked about his baby name, I believe.
Yep, yeah, the crazy name he named his new baby. Then we also talked about how last week Wired or Forbes, someone did like an article where they interviewed a whole bunch of Christian people, and they decided like they all like would like, this is what I think God looks like. And then they took the composite of each person's thought and they composited it together and they said it looks like Elon Musk is what they're saying. So we I don't know, we just thought it was stupid. But
That's weird.
But this week there's a funny story about a lady who actually has Elon Musk's old phone number. So she gets texts all the time, like saying crazy shit, just like talking about Elon Musk, like, hey, like, when we gonna build this rocket or crazy shit, like
people who actually know Elon Musk text her.
I'm assuming, or like maybe
like
that used to know him,
contacts?
and just never got his updated info, like our.
Can I just say, I never really knew who he was until I watched Rick and Morty, which might be a bad thing, but like I'm not really a person who do background searches of like business, like people and stuff.
Yeah.
So I never knew who he was, and then like I saw him on Rick and Morty in the episode and was like, that name sound familiar, and I looked him up in real life and was like, oh, it's the actual person. So that was my first time hearing about him.
Which cell phone carrier does Elon Musk use? That's what I want to know. Like, what company is this lady's number through? Does it say?
It does not say.
I would like almost expect Elon Musk to be like so rich and smart that he just like had his own cell phone network. Like, honestly, I'm surprised that Elon Musk is like using Metro PCS or something. Like,
It's got like a little side burner on the side or something.
Oh shit, there's an actual text message document. Elon, nope. Met with him last week and this was given this number. Is this the foundation for him? Nope, this is a 22-year-old college student's cell phone number.
Wow.
Hello, Mr. Here's another one. Hello, Mr. Musk. How can I purchase the ATV you showed off during the Cybertruck reveal? Thanks. Sorry, buddy, this is an Elon Musk. Like,
that's got to be like entertaining and annoying.
yeah. What episode?
I was trying to think of that. I can't actually think. I believe
felt like
it's
I've
in.
watched every episode and I don't remember call it.
Yeah, I
I believe it's in season 3. if I'm not mistaken. It's in season. It's in
That's the
season
newest
3.
one. I don't think I've seen that one actually.
It's actually
Because that one took
season
like
4.
Oh, there's a 4.
Yeah, 4.
Then
came out a
that's the
couple
one I
months
haven't
ago.
seen at all.
It's still coming out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say I thought I just watched one like last week.
Yeah, still new ones. But yeah, if I was an old girl who had his number, like I would just play it off like I was actually him.
Oh,
Like,
just fuck
yeah.
with, yeah, just fuck
Just
with
troll
people.
people
Keep
for
messing
like
with people.
days.
Yeah, especially like during the quarantine. And
Yeah,
shit.
wire
Like,
me
what
the
great
money.
enter-
I'll give you the ATV.
What great entertainment!
And they'd be like, "Yeah, where's my truck?" Well, I don't know who you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Thanks for the money, though.
Oh man. All right. Next story that's kind of a touchback. So for Mother's Day, we came up with some stupid like scenario, and I didn't even like realize what I was doing when I was talking about it, but we came up with the scenario of like Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt, and who else was it? Leonardo DiCaprio. Like
Yep.
they can make like they just come out with movies, and no matter what, everyone loves them. Like it doesn't matter how bad the movie is, like they're always just good actors. And then like I completely forgot about the whole Johnny Depp and like Amber Heard thing is like going on at this point in time as we brought that up, and like so I wanted to bring that up. I don't know if you even know about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. I didn't even know who Amber Heard was for the longest time.
I didn't either until I just recently, like I've heard the name before, but I couldn't fucking tell you who she was until just recently. I heard that she got fired from Aquaman, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
That
yeah,
girl.
you know.
Yep.
See, this is another thing. Like, I know so many actors and actresses, but like me with faces putting them together, it's like
There's I feel like there's so many people
hard.
in Hollywood, like you see them and you're like, I know that guy, but you could never,
never
I could,
name
Can't
him.
could
them.
never tell you their name.
Like, seeing them in person, I would be like, man, I know you.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
that
you
guy
so
that was in
bad.
that movie. Like,
I
yeah.
can name your movies, but I can't name you. Sorry.
I've been dealing with that a lot, like during quarantine, because obviously we're all watching a lot of TV and movies and shit. So like and we have like YouTube TV. We don't have cable, so like we've been watching some weird, random stuff, and like someone will pop up and I'll be like, I know that guy. I don't know who he is, but I know him.
He was also in this or in
Yeah.
that and this, and just
I feel like every time I've ever been to New York, that happens to me. Where I'll see someone I know in public, and it's like you want to go ask them for a picture, or you want to like say something to them because you know from a movie,
Yeah.
but you have no idea what their name is.
Yeah, you wanna
no idea.
You like want to call them by their character name. That's like almost more insulting.
yes,
Like,
yes.
like what?
Like I remember
Yeah.
last time I was there, I seen like the one guy that was in House of Cards that was like Kevin Spacey's like right hand man for a while. That was like
The like balding guy.
Yeah, I seen him. I was like, dude, he's such a good actor, and I've seen him in a couple other things. I seen him in public. He was with his like wife and his kid.
I
It
could
was like
not-
at like a park in like
Hey,
in the middle of New York.
Didn't
I know
real
exactly
name.
who you're talking about because House of Cards was a great show. Couldn't even tell you his character's name, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think it was like Todd or something. I mean, I know he killed that Mormon girl.
Yeah,
I'm-
I kind of
No, everything he did, who he is, but don't know his real name or his name.
Right.
In the show.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So we went off on a crazy tangent. I don't even think we talked about.
Yeah, we did.
So Amber Heard.
I want to say that's another thing. Like I said, I don't really get in like people like lives like that unless you like my friend or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, but if you're just like an actor or a rapper or somebody I watch or listen to, I'm not that deep in your life. So.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I was at the grocery store, and like anytime you go to the grocery store now, like you're in line so fucking long. Like I was in line for like 45 minutes because everybody like only goes when they have to and buys everything. And like
Yeah.
for some reason, even though the stores are like overwhelmed, they only have 3 lanes open still, which makes no fucking sense. But so I was like thinking about that the other day because like I'm standing there and I'm looking at like these tabloids and like all these tabloid stories, and it was like about like Angelina Jolie's heartbreak, and it was like who else was it? I don't know, some other actress, and like their like relation. Oh, it was Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler. It was like
Oh yeah,
Kristen
I seen that.
Cavallari
I did see
seen
that
exact
was
one.
actually
Yeah.
a wife from hell, and it was like, why does anybody give a shit about any of this? Like honestly, but obviously
People do.
they do, because
Yeah.
these magazines are still in supermarkets, have been
People are-
forever. Like, people are obsessed with that shit, but why? Like, what does that do for your life?
That's like being someone's number one fan. You know every little detail. I'm like, that's too much work.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Like, I have like artists that I love that I consider myself to be a huge fan of, but like I don't need to know what happens outside of their art, honestly. Like, and sometimes knowing what happens outside of their art ruins their art, a la Jesse Lacey. You know,
yes,
like
yes.
I would just much rather live your life, put what you want in public, and that's what I'll respect and you know follow and you know be a fan of.
Yeah, like it's crazy. They be knowing like their childhood, like residence, like where they grew up and all that.
Yeah.
It's like too much.
Ultra
Too
fans.
much. Too much.
Well, I guess fan is short for fanatic for a
Yes.
reason. Right?
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah.
It's like over the top. I'm with you. Like especially those
Yes.
celebrity like relationship stuff and like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing is a pretty crazy story. Like I did hear a little bit about it because I read like
Well,
I
yeah.
said.
Supposedly she was like the violent one, and she was lying about a lot of
Yeah, she like tried to
accusations.
accuse him of all kinds of shit, and then it came out that she was like super abusive, like burning him and like doing all kinds of crazy
Body shaming
Yeah,
him.
like doing like crazy shit to him, which is a wild story, of course, but it's like
It's fucking Johnny Depp. How you gonna body?
I know.
shame
How
him?
you gonna body shame Johnny fucking Depp?
I don't know.
You can ask that man for damn near anything, and he probably gonna get it for you. Why you gonna?
I
I
mean-
think that was her tactic to try to keep him.
That's the crazy thing too, is like all that shit was happening and he like just kept his mouth shut the whole time. And then like she tried to expose him and like throw him under the bus, and then that's when
Yeah, then
the-
so, yeah.
It
that's when the
just
turns got
backfired.
tabled, you know? Yeah.
You messed up something good you had trying.
But I could have lived my whole life
crazy.
without knowing anything about it and been just fine.
Yeah. Yes. Excuse me.
So this is something we've talked about, and when we kind of touched on it, we talked about like not talking about it until a day comes, and it's not came, and it's still not. Just a Forbes article that I read, and it was kind of interesting. Just the headline itself, explaining that colleges may be able to order students to get COVID vaccinations in order to go back to school.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like
Yeah. To go back to the campus ground, like
I mean, I think that's a real thing that we're going to see here in the next few, well, whenever there is actually a vaccine or whatever. I think it's a real thing that we're going to see, not just in colleges, like a lot of places are going to adopt that kind of policy. You know, I'm kind of like still jury's out on if I want to take a vaccine or not for my own personal reason.
I kind of don't want to personally myself, but
I mean, and not because I think there's a microchip in it or anything crazy like that. I mean, I don't take flu shots. You know what I mean?
yeah, me
So-
too.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot.
don't.
There's a lot of stuff I don't purposely put in my body. I try to
Right.
live a different lifestyle in order to
Right.
fight that stuff.
So that will be interesting, but I don't think like there was a time when I would have said that they're going to do that and people are just going to suck it up and do it, but like with everything that's been happening the last couple weeks in this country and like things progressively getting worse, like I could see there being a real backlash, and like I don't know that it's something that's going to be enforceable, honestly.
Yeah, I know. And we
At least
talked
at
about it.
at least at public universities, private colleges can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, like probably like the more like higher up like colleges and universities than like probably so, but like community colleges and stuff probably like
Yeah, they're probably
won't
just want anybody's money they can get.
won't super enforce it, but they
Well, that's a great point too. Like, what happens when they say this, and there is, let's say, I don't know what the numbers would actually come out to be, but 40% of students are just like, no, fuck that, I'm not going to do it, and they're losing out on this revenue after losing all this revenue that they've already lost this year. You know, they're going to have no choice but to relent. I mean, just the loss of college athletics alone is going to cost these schools so much money. It's unbelievable. Like, they need everybody to come through those doors that they can get, so they can try it. I mean, that's, honestly, good luck with that, but I don't think it's going to be something that they're going to be able to enforce and keep operating.
Yeah, I know. We lost out of March Madness.
That's crazy.
That was,
Not just that,
man.
but I mean, like, even like NCAA football, like, who knows what it's going to look
Sure,
like this
yeah.
year? I mean, that's in the fall, but like California already extended their stay at home 3 more months. So into the fall, they've already said that there isn't going to be no like sports happening in the state of California, where people are actually going to these venues and like purchasing beverages or memorabilia or tickets themselves. So even if they do have like competitions without fans in the stands, they're going to lose a shitload of money. Like this is going to be a hard road to recover from.
Yeah.
Just about any industry is going to be taking a hit some way, somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
like we're just like I feel like the whole COVID like sickness, and maybe it's just my ignorance because I am not on social media anymore. I mean, I try to keep up with the news and stuff, but I feel like the actual like illness is starting to decline.
Yeah.
But we're just not even beginning to see the long-term ramifications,
yes.
For sure.
economically. I actually had an interesting conversation with somebody who is a finance professor at a Big Ten school that I was talking to through work, and he was telling me some interesting things about there are parts of Europe where the economy has gotten so bad that they literally now have negative interest rates.
We talked about this last week.
I was
For him. My bad.
and that's like, that's the kind of thing that we could be facing.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what's going to happen next. It's crazy.
I always say it's a crazy world, but we're really about to get into a crazy world now because
nobody knows what happens next. I mean, that's this we keep saying the same thing, but it keeps getting crazier every week that we come on and do this.
I know, and I feel like a lot of people are still just like, I feel like a good majority of the people are just assuming it's going to go back to normal. I know people personally that just are just ready for everything just to be normal. Like, I'm just ready for this to be over.
I mean, everybody's ready.
Ready, but I mean, like they're expecting it just to be like.
It makes you value the life you had previously, like things you took for granted. Like I was just talking about this last night. I was like, man, what I wouldn't be able to give to be able to do like the stupidest shit that I used to do that I just took for granted, like nothing, like it was nothing. Like even when we were talking earlier, and you were talking about the shit that's happening in Detroit, and I was just thinking about like your bachelor party last year, like just going bar hopping with your friends, like riding scooters around, like just being in public. You can't do that anymore. It's crazy, man, and it's something that you took for granted. Something so simple and so fun, and that you just, now that it's taboo or impossible to do, it's like, man, I would give anything to be able to do that again.
Do y'all have an estimate that y'all want to give of like when it might go back to being normal?
Never.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go back to the way it was.
I think that the world has fundamentally changed. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I do. I don't want to be like a doomsday naysayer. I mean, I kind of am a pessimistic person by nature, but I just like Scott was kind of alluding to, like I don't see a scenario where a switch gets flipped and we go back to normal, or even steadily go back to normal. And maybe that's short-sighted of me, but I think that things have changed, because I think that now, even if COVID disappears, there's going to be underlying fear for some people of other people.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to change the way that people think about interacting with one another, because you don't know when another situation is like this is going to pop up. And even if that's not a real threat for years and years to come, it's going to change. There are going to be people who are afraid of that forever, and you're going to have to cater to those people, and to some degree. You know what I mean? So, honestly, never. I think that there will be a degree of normalcy, hopefully soon. Realistically, probably a year at the most, next summer, before we start seeing any kind of semblance of normal life, in my estimation. But I don't think that it's going to go back to the way it was before. I can't imagine a scenario where it does.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about just the way that and everything else is going. I feel like the way to get through this, the best way, is to try to like overcome our differences in every aspect, like especially politics. And I just don't see that happening. Like, I feel like most Republicans and Democrats are arguing over certain shit too, where it's like,
no, I think we're getting further from that.
That's what I'm saying. We're dividing more, instead of like coming together as a country on every issue. we're dividing more on every issue instead of trying to find a solution to an issue and be like reasonable with each other on everything. It's like either so far fucking right or so far left. Even with these bills they're passing in the House, like when this is going on, it's like certain Republican people don't even think this is real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're just like, you got the people on the left that think this is the worst virus in the world, then you got the people on the right that think this isn't real.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get anywhere when you got half the population on one way and the other half the other way. And instead of just like coming together to try to figure it out, they yell at each other and they hate each other and they won't fucking just talk to each other to figure out what the fucking problem is.
That's the thing is, like, no matter what you're talking about, like, there's always going to be division. There's always going to be difference of opinion. And, like, there's always going to be people who disagree or doubt that it's real, as you're saying, you know, but it is like the vitriol, like the hatred that like comes from differing opinions. Like, you can't have a reasonable conversation with somebody who has a difference in opinion with than you about anything these days without them attacking your personal character. Like that I mean, that's the reason why I got off social media. Like, there is no like normal political discourse. It's like, if you don't agree with my opinion, then you're a fucking bad person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And with you saying that, like, there's times where like I have like someone has a disagreement with me, and like I try to argue my point, not to win it, but just to make them understand at least where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
And people are like, oh, you just want to win this. No, I just want you to understand where I'm coming from.
Why I feel the
I
way
don't care
feel.
about winning.
Hey,
I don't want you to change your
that's
what you see or what you know.
Like,
just understand.
People can have different opinion. I love that point. Is there like too many people? Most people these days, like, they can't accept that. Like, no, there is no let's agree to disagree. You know what I mean? And I like that. At least like try to understand why I feel the way I feel. You don't have to agree with me, but this is why I feel the way I feel. And you might think that, hey, I'm wrong. That's fine. But you don't have to call me a fucking idiot or, you know, whatever, you know,
term you want to use,
depending on the
context.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything results to like personal attacks and slander and character judgment and character assassination, and like it's just there's no solution to anything because there's no give and take. It's just you believe this or you believe this.
Oh no, these facts. Like, yeah, you got those facts, but I got these facts. No, your facts are wrong.
Right.
How do you know if you've never really tried to see if they were right?
Right. You're not looking at a different perspective. You're just telling me I'm wrong. Right.
Yep. And that's the scariest part I feel about the timing of this virus is like if it's gonna collapse, if the economy collapses on top of this virus and you got people acting like that, I just see fucking chaos. I don't know. And I hate saying that. I hate being like, me and my wife talk about it and she like fucking yells at me. I'm like, I'm just trying to tell you, like, be aware.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're already seeing that. It's we're not very far from chaos. It's just the right spark will ignite that fire, you know.
Very true.
We'll get to that. Let's fucking we're 3 topics in. And I got fucking a whole shitload. All right, let's just buzz through these local news stories that aren't the main local news story, or just news story in general.
I was about to say that's kind of weird. Local but not local.
Yeah, never mind. I'm stupid. I'm fucking dumb, guys. So, first thing. Recently, the Blue Angels came and flew over Detroit and Metro Detroit to honor our workers.
Fuck that shit, okay? I'm pissed off about that.
Yeah, but I can't even think. This how stupid I am right now. What are they called?
The Blue Angels?
Our healthcare workers. To honor our healthcare workers. I couldn't think of healthcare.
Our frontline workers.
Our frontline workers, yes.
I'm pissed off because I went and stood out in my backyard like a dumbass for like 30 minutes waiting to see these goddamn planes fly over, and they never came.
I seen them, but they were like this big, because they were so far north.
Is that
they never
the only
came over us.
reason you're mad about it?
Yes, 100%.
So if you would have saw him, you would be 100% fine.
I'd be fine.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even know. I probably heard some shit flying, but I was like,
Didn't
oh,
you
look,
have-
another helicopter or
We
something.
live right by the airport. We should have been right in the flight path. I stood out there for 30 minutes, staring at the goddamn sun like an idiot, and they never came.
Well,
Wow.
with this story, the FAA is investigating someone because they fucking drone float, like droned up there, like right by it, like
Really?
Oh.
yeah, they almost smacked.
Here in Detroit?
Yes,
They got their
look how
drone
close
that
this
high.
drone got.
Where's the drone?
This is the
So
drone
this is
photo
the
from the
shot.
That's
drone.
a photo from the drone.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Dude, that's
put,
close.
Put that up on the screen behind me.
I will.
So people can see it.
We'll throw it up behind Drew, guys, so everyone can
That's
see
incredible.
Dude, that's crazy.
this. Yeah, so they're trying to investigate whose drone it was and figure all that out.
Hey,
So
that's
I
a
thought
hell,
that was hilarious.
That's a hell of a drone
Yeah.
to get that high and get that clear of a picture. Honestly, that's
Yeah, that's a clear shot. I think I want to get me a drone. Just for no reason. Just
I want to get a good
because.
one though. That's the problem. Is I don't want you can't
No.
buy a cheap one because then like the video quality's shitty.
I'd like to play with one. I've never played with one.
Yeah, I've my friend has one and like I've used his, and it was pretty dope. So I'm like, yeah,
They do have some amazing ones though. Like when I was working at my last company, like when we had our company retreat, like the company had gotten so big that they did the group photo with a drone shot, and like it was like amazingly clear. You know what I mean? So
Well, I do know if you like. This is one of our sponsors, even though we don't have any, so I'm making this up. GoPro, which is one of our sponsors because that's what we're filming our show on. Which is not one of our sponsors. Taking that out, but they make a drone called like the Karma. But what's really cool about it is What's really cool about it is it has a stabilizer, a camera. So it's a regular GoPro that has like a stabilizer that you
so
can
like
just
when the
use
drone
it.
moves, it stays stable.
Yes, but so if you don't want to use the drone though, you can pull the stabilizer out and use it as a handle and just stabilize the GoPro. So if you're like at a concert or you're shooting just anywhere, you can use the stabilizer. But you want to use the drone, the stabilizer just shoots into the drone. You know what I'm saying? It just like plugs into the drone and attaches to the drone.
Okay, but like,
So you get three pieces basically. You get like a drone, a stabilizer, and a camera all in one.
can I ask you a
I
question?
love
though?
your attempt at trying to get us to get this, but we want a drone so we can fly that motherfucker far away and we can take some pictures.
Yeah.
sir.
That's what the GoPro one is.
You said we gotta connect some. We gotta
No,
connect three pieces.
it comes with all three. You buy it, it comes with all three. But if you don't want to if you want to just use the GoPro part, you can unattach
So
the
it's
GoPro.
like a transformer.
Yeah, so like
Okay,
you could use
okay.
it either three different ways. If you don't need to use the drone shot,
The
you
way
don't have
you
to.
said it sounded differently.
Can I ask you a
got
question
now.
though? Like honestly, you made me think of something. Like, why do people feel the need? And I've done this myself. So like, I'm people. You know, like, why do people feel the need to like fucking take video when they're at a concert? Like I get when you're like at Austin City Limits, that's different. That's like a once in a lifetime
know.
thing.
Hey.
But like I do the same thing. Like I go to a concert and I'm like, I love this song, and then
Dude.
never watch the
it.
video.
And
Never watch the video.
And the main thing
See?
too
And
is
it's-
most of the
I'm
time
that
sounds like
person.
shit.
most of the time you spend most of your time at the concert too trying to make sure. Oh, are they in the middle? So you're missing the actual concert because you're trying to make sure your
Dude, not
video's
only
good.
that, but like
Nope,
I mean,
see?
a GoPro might be a little bit different, but like on a phone, it always sounds like shit.
Oh, it sounds like even worse on a GoPro.
Yeah. I don't know. I think y'all got iPhones. I'm an Android, so I know all my videos sound shitty. But any of the last three concerts I went to, J. Cole, A$AP Ferg, and Earth Gang, I've recorded all three, like all my favorite songs, and I continue to watch them back.
Do you?
Yes.
I feel like you're a rare.
I feel
Yes.
I feel like you're a rarity though.
because I'm like, oh, I remember
like
when I was there.
I
It's
faithfully
so
do
great.
this. Like I probably have like 100 concert videos on my phone right now. Like every time I see Manchester Orchestra, I'm like, oh, I gotta record this song. I love this song. But
Yeah.
then I never fucking watch it. Like,
Yep.
and when I do, it's like literally, it's like garbled ass music, and then me yelling is what I hear.
Yeah, it's your
Oh,
voice
it's-
singing the
you
song.
always-
Yeah.
You always hear yourself over,
and then I just
over the
cringe.
artist.
That's probably why I don't watch them, because I just cringe every time I do. Like, I'll post it on I'll post it like on Snapchat, right? And then like, of course, I'll be drinking. You know, I'm at the concert. I'll post it on Snapchat, like, everybody, look how cool I am. And then the next day, I'll watch my story, and it's
Like,
just
what
me
the hell?
screaming, and I'm like, oh fuck, delete. Like, damage is done.
Yeah, no, I'm one of them people who like to go back and watch the videos because
Oh, I mean, good for you.
I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see that artist. So
If you watch it, I can respect that. But like, I just speaking for myself,
Yeah.
I guess, and I feel like a lot of people like
just record it and
just
be like,
never
oh,
watch
yeah,
it again.
delete.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Got to get it for other people to enjoy sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's probably what you do. You be like, hey, y'all, enjoy this with me at the time.
It's kind of
Yeah.
sad that in 2 weeks we should be seeing Bright Eyes, but we're not.
Yeah, we bought tickets for a show in New York that's not happening until next year.
Well-
but let's be honest, I don't think it's going to happen next year from the way that New York's going to keep, I think, pushing back.
Well, I missed
We'll see.
Tech 9 for my birthday on the 18th.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to come on the 18th. He pushed it back until like October, but we'll see how everything goes. So,
I think we might. I don't know. It's hard to say because we were one of the top ones too. But I think New York and California are going to be one of the last states to do like venues. I think that's gonna they're gonna open stuff up
That's
in,
because I
in
feel like
tiers. I think that's gonna be one of the last thing that's gonna
feel
opens
like
up.
New York and California are two of like the
Hot
most,
spots, yeah,
Well-
and there's
well-
most populated.
they're highly populated, and also like we were talking about before, like hardcore left leaning states, like that they're gonna push this shit out
Yeah,
as much as
super
possible
far, yeah.
to make the point they need to make.
Let's talk about some again local stuff still. So I'm assuming everyone heard about the flood.
Yeah,
I actually
Midland
saw
flood.
it. Actually saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I went to Grand Rapids. Was it last week? Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
You
And
can see it off the freeway.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't tell you exactly what Pharrell was getting on, but like there's a spot where my roommate and her friends like to go tubing at, and we were about to go there, but like once we got close, like we could actually see the water.
Oh, wow.
It was like up, and we was like, oh yeah, can't go there.
That's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. I actually didn't hear about it like at first, and then somebody like out of state was like, "Oh, I just heard about this. Do you live by there?" And I was like, "No." And then I started looking it up, and like the amount of damage is just like insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that city's gone.
The whole
Like,
there was a whole lake that was above that dam that's just empty. There's like boats that are just on land now because the lake's gone because
Yeah.
the whole lake was depending on that dam. But my
Yeah.
whole thing is, I kind of want to talk about it. Is so I think the guy should be accountable for everything that owns it. But I think that a lot of people's issue is, do you think it's a privately owned dam? Do you think dams should be able to be privately owned?
no, I can't believe that that's even a
Yeah,
thing.
no.
Like,
I was gonna ask, like, did it just break open or from?
Yeah, I guess there was, according to the reports, but again, I don't know. I'm just what people are saying, and this is,
Quoting other people.
yes,
That's
yes,
not
quoting
100%.
other people. They're saying that he avoided, like, the checks and
Fixing it
stuff,
up.
the fixing
What-
all the,
some-
because he wanted the taxpayers to pay it.
well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, what is the point like of having a privately owned dam? Like, does he make tax revenue off of it, or like, why is that even a thing?
That he probably creates energy. Dams are energy, so he probably
Some
But
are.
like,
I mean, not all.
didn't his stuff get messed up too?
I'm sure the whole
yeah,
fucking
his
town
stuff
is
got
gone.
messed up, but I think the more thing is, yeah, he
And now,
fucked so many people. I think he should be held accountable, but I don't know. I like.
But what kind of
part of
pun-
me thinks like,
What kind of punishment are you gonna give him? You're gonna send him
But
to jail for
now-
the rest of his life?
well,
Like,
all the money he's made off his dam, he should have to.
100%. Yeah,
he
I
gotta,
mean,
he gonna have to fix that. Like that's not
yeah.
gonna be.
I mean,
cheap.
okay, maybe I'm wrong, and this is gonna sound insensitive. Like, Like, I get it. Like, he should be held accountable. There should be some kind of repercussions. That's what insurance is for, though. Like, to a degree, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you live in a flood zone like that, you got to have flood insurance. Like, that's a thing. So, like, I would hope that the people who are affected are being taken care of in that regard, because there's no way. The only reason I say that is not to be insensitive. It's because there's no way that this fucking guy has the money laying around
To pay for
an entire town that he destroyed. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
Like,
he still does, like you said, needs to be held accountable.
And especially if you knew he wasn't taking care of the dam like he should have,
Right.
I'm sure you got
I'm
flood
just like,
insurance.
I'm shocked that like that wasn't something that was like incredibly strictly government regulated.
But
you
I
know
feel
what mean?
that's what I think.
Oh,
though I feel like
yeah.
I'm on a different side of you guys. Though, like I think it should be all right to publicly own a dam, but it, like you said, it has to be regulated. It has to be up to code. If not, it gets shut down.
Why does a private person need to own a dam?
I don't think they need to, but I'm saying if you wanted to own a dam,
Why?
maybe
I
you are
wanna know-
fascinated with dams. People are fascinated with weird things, Drew.
I was
People
gonna
are-
say
study butterflies. I don't know why they do it. They do it.
I was gonna
Like,
say how much does a dam cost for you to buy it? Because
Well,
like
my whole point is, my thing. I
Or
don't
did
know.
he
I don't
build-
know
did
this
he-
guy's story.
I mean,
My thing is,
I-
I'm assuming this guy's family probably came there and were one of the first people that came here
Yeah,
and like
like
settled
it's
and,
like
and made the dam.
generational,
Yes,
yeah.
family built
for
and-
themselves,
Well, that's what
and
I
then
was
people
gonna say.
built around it, and then it got like handed down to them. Like,
I
how are
don't-
you gonna?
I don't know enough the specifics either, but like the only thing I can think of what you were asking is if it was like a man-made lake that they were trying to create. You know what I mean? Like Belleville Lake. I don't know if you know this. Belleville Lake is a man-made lake, and there's a dam there that's in terrible shape. And if that fucking dam breaks, that whole city's gone.
Yeah, and then all Huron and Flat
Yeah.
Rock's gonna get flooded.
Yeah.
crazy.
So like if someone's trying to make a man-made lake, I could see them like using
I
a
think
dam
that's
as
what it was. The lake above it was man-made. I think the lake would have. I don't know what.
But I just can't believe that like a privately owned dam is even a thing. Like that's shocking to me.
Well, I just think that's what I think. I think whoever made it to begin with, was probably the owner of it, and they made it for. I mean, people make dams for certain reasons. Some people dam for, like I said, energy. That's maybe why it first got created. Before there was like electricity, is probably hydro,
Uh-huh.
and it just got passed down from his family.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like if you wanted to go out and buy a dam, technically, I think if you privately own it, it should be a private company. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
I'm
guess it
sure
shouldn't
that-
be a person that
No,
owns it,
I'm
but a
sure
private
there's
company.
some kind of business entity attached to it. Like, I don't think it's just like John's Dam. Like, I'm sure that he has some kind of business name attached to it. Like, I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that because it's privately owned, it's not government. I mean, it's not being regulated the way that it should, or it's not being checked on as much as it should. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know enough about the story. I guess I probably shouldn't be talking about it, but it's just fucking crazy.
No,
to me
these are just off-rope reactions. We
that a-
don't know. I
that a
don't know
person
either.
Can own a dam.
And I'm probably wrong. I just think I'm just thinking, like, if I had something that was really fucking crazy handed down to me, and I don't, because I'm not part of a family that's that owns dams. But if I had a dam that was handed down to me,
For sure, I'm gonna take care of it.
Well, yeah, that thing needs to be in good shape.
yeah, I would want to take care of it. But I mean, I wouldn't want people telling me that I can't
No,
privately own
you
it.
better make damn sure.
Ooh. Well, random again. I want to get off this damn story, but random fact: in Midland, Dow Chemical Plant is located. Their headquarters, and there was a mix of their containment ponds
Oh, really?
with the flood water. So we'll just throw that out there that people could be getting poisoned too, and.
I mean, I don't think anybody lives there anymore.
No, but I mean, it's still going to leach into the water, or the system.
I don't think
all
anybody's
the
gonna
whole
live. No,
water system.
I don't think anybody lives there anymore. Like, I don't think there is no.
I know, but that
Yeah,
water's
no.
still going to go flood into our lakes.
That's gonna get in the groundwater and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's
what you're
it's gonna
saying.
mix.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck shit up.
It's
But
gonna
yeah, I
mess
don't
up
think they're
the
gonna
land
rebuild.
there and
It's-
everything.
No, dude, that town's gone. Like, which is crazy. I've driven through there a bunch of times too. When I go to
it's-
Grand Rapids.
It's what's crazy. My one of my friends that I worked with, he that was his hometown.
Really?
Yeah. So like I was sending pictures last week on Facebook, and I was like, "Dude, are you there?" He was like, "Nah," but the pictures he posted, his family had shared on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh,
It's
sad.
terrible, man.
okay."
Other local news.
Local, not local.
Local.
I'm gonna just
And
say
they just
that
they just
every
like
time
404
you say
this
local, I'm
page,
sorry.
so it's not an article anymore. So, supposedly there's a bill in Michigan Congress or wherever they do bills at. I don't know. There's a bill to aim to okay cocktails to go to create social districts outside to help Michigan bars and restaurants during coronavirus.
Good.
For sure.
What's wrong with that?
I can go to my favorite bar and get a cocktail, but can't go in.
That's cool.
I mean,
I'll be
basically,
able-
it's just legalizing open intox.
No, because you still can't drink and drive.
I'm not talking about open intox
Oh.
driving. I'm talking about like.
Well, it should be. I mean, there's a lot of states where it already is. You can go to a park and
Yeah.
drink a beer, you know, and it should be that way. As
I-
long as you're not fucking causing a ruckus, public intoxication, or drunk, you know, drunk and disorderly, then who the fuck
When
cares?
And I'm sure there's still going to be people who's like watching like how many drinks someone
Oh,
has.
for sure.
And now even more. Like, hey, this person that had these 3 drinks and I think he's ready to be cut off. Like,
Yeah, when I went to Copenhagen, it was actually an open intox state. It was an open intox country, in city in a different country, and it was kind of weird for me because not being used to it, you know. And what was weird is I'm pretty sure they have like a different drinking age there too, because I seen like really young
were you
kids.
scared to crack open a bottle?
What?
Was you scared to crack open a bottle?
At first I was kind of nervous about it, but then I went into 7-Eleven. I noticed like younger kids just buying beers and going out and just cracking them and walking down
Well,
the
it's like-
streets with beers. I'm just like, but the strange thing about it is you would think there would be a lot more scuffles and fights over dumbass shit. But when I was there, it wasn't. I never really seen that many people arguing or fight. I mean, it's a different lifestyle over there too. In general, they're just happier people. And they don't,
I think that that's like super extremist to think that just because people can drink in public, you know, that they're automatically going to become like drunken fucking bar fighters. And
no, I'm not saying bar
fighters.
fighters. I'm just saying that people when they drink, you can't disagree them. People when they drink, they get one not just cocky. They get they just get confident and they get loud, and then sometimes they get angry fast.
Sometimes.
Yeah, some people do and some people don't.
It
There's some
happens,
people
it
that
happens.
But like going out, being able to like have a drink or two, or like get a drink or two to go, is not the same as like drinking a fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still going to be like like I said, laws and like regulations and stuff. I mean, it's no different than like going to like New Orleans or Vegas. I mean,
No,
you can walk around
I-
those places with drinks. And
I agree.
some people are sloppy, and some people are going to be sloppy here because some people are just sloppy. You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like,
I know, but I think
most
that's
people
the thing is it's just harder. It's harder to regulate, so they're gonna have to have more street patrol. They're gonna have to have more people.
I don't know. I'm all for it.
I think
I'm not against it. I'm just saying.
so. Like,
Like you made a good point though by bringing up New Orleans. Like it does get fucking wild down there.
It does, and it gets right.
And
I
then
mean,
they have people on the streets.
but it's not everybody, is what I'm saying. Like the people who get wild are going to get wild whether they're doing it in a bar, at their house. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but I know, I get that, but I'm just saying if it's in a bar, it's more like there's, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to it's just a smaller spot to pay attention
Yeah.
to. You have security in a bar. You have people that are watching for that in a bar. On the streets, you got to have a cop for each square footage. You know what I'm saying? It just opens like the range of having to patrol.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just like I'm all for more personal freedoms, and I kind of miss the bar. So.
Then you should be more fucking for guys owning fucking dams, dude. This guy wanted to own a dam. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm more for people having the freedom.
did you just want to get that joke out?
I'm more for people being able to own their home and not get it flooded by fucking Jack's
Yeah.
shit dam or whatever the fuck.
Hey,
his
I
name is.
agree. I think he should, again, he's a douchebag for doing what he did, but I think he has the right to own a dam.
No, I would just like certain bars to open back up just so I can go see some of my people that
For sure.
I haven't seen in a while, and so I can fucking play pool.
For sure.
Unless one of y'all want to buy a pool table, invite me over.
I mean, it's weird. Like
I got a pool table.
this is the longest since I turned
Where?
It's
the
in my garage
garage?
with 2 couches on it right
Yeah.
now, so we can't play.
It's like the
we
longest
cracking it out
since
today.
I turned 21 that I've gone without going to the bar, and I know that sounds like a maybe it sounds like an alcoholic or something, but I just like miss the atmosphere. You know, it's like I miss going, like you said, seeing my friends, not even necessarily getting drunk, just having a few beers and catching up and something to do after work.
You know what I'd like to see? Not necessarily. It has nothing to do with the open end talks. A little bit.
Strippers.
No. I would like to see Detroit adapt more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. I'd like to see him adapt more of a Key West, Nashville, like you brought up, New Orleans, Chicago, like all these major cities that I've been to, they all have this like area where it's like that's the bar area. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you can bar hop easily and access all of them. There's music and everything. Like there's like always like that street where that's the street to go to.
I mean, you kind of got like an area in Detroit that's like that. I mean, of course you
There's
got like
everything's spread out,
outlying
though.
bars, but no, like I mean, like if you're like downtown proper,
Yeah.
in like the 1 mile radius around Campus Martius, I mean, there's a lot of bars there, a lot of bars there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There,
I mean, you don't got that street though.
And then, like, even Midtown has that area.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So-
Like one street, like where Jolly Pumpkin and stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, but you don't got that street.
It's like different vibes. I like it better this way because it's like
Because
every
you're
like
not-
little neighborhood has a different vibe of
Yeah.
that street, you know?
but, like, you're not going to have that just one street because look at Key West. I can say for sure Key West because I've been there. Nashville,
Yeah,
I
Key West
haven't
is
yet.
really tiny though. That's a different.
Key
that's
West
a different story.
has literally is just one street that you go past, you go to the beach, and that's your bar area.
Yeah,
I
then
feel like
everywhere else
Detroit
is-
has more diversity too. Like
Very.
every neighborhood in Detroit has a personality, and like the
Very.
bars there suit that neighborhood. So like
If you want to be around college
it's
kids,
kind of cool.
All right.
go to Midtown.
So when I was in
Yeah, you want to
Austin,
chill? Go to Corktown. Like
when I was in
yeah,
Austin,
like,
there was
it has
two.
it.
There was 2 places. There was like the one strip where they had all of like the shipping container and all the old houses that were turned into bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that went north and south, and then there was an east and west street that went basically halfway across the whole city, right? And that whole it went across the whole city, but halfway across it was just all bars and clubs on that one fucking block. And it was just like at night that block closes off. There's no cars that go down. You know what I'm saying? It's just basically just you can just walk down the whole block and find anything you want.
I can say this as one thing. Detroit has different areas. Like he said, it's diverse. So like certain people only go to certain areas.
yeah,
Like there's only going to be people who go to Midtown probably will never go downtown if they want to just drink.
well, it's like different.
Like,
it's
yeah.
different
every now and
vibes, like-
again.
No,
just
I know,
like
but I
you
mean
said.
everyone can
And
have their
then-
own vibe, but I still think there should be that
And-
one party area where it's like a designated, if
Greektown.
you want to know. Yes, Greektown, but I feel like Greektown doesn't have enough.
But what he's saying, and
But
what, what I agree with, you can go
There's
to any
places
of
still coming up.
you could
though.
go to any of these areas, and there is a one party area in Midtown. There is a street where all the bars are. You know what I'm saying? In Corktown, there's like a street where Michigan Avenue,
Yep.
where all the bars and restaurants are. Downtown, it's like a circle, but all the bars are right there.
Yeah, but my whole point is those streets are still accessible by cars and like.
Oh, I mean that's never gonna stop. I mean,
when you-
that's just like
I'm talking about
So
a
when
whole
you get
street
your
that,
ass on
at
a
night,
scooter like we did,
The place
you
I'm
go
talking about,
ride.
at night they close the whole street off and there's like no cars allowed on the street.
Yeah,
It's just
that
basically
ain't never gonna
people
happen
like
here, though.
going from like drunk
Yeah.
from one bar to the other bar to the other bar.
mean, you can still do that, and they're never gonna close the street off. You just gotta like not get hit by a car. I mean, that's
I know.
That's it is what it is. You know.
I'm just telling you, like,
I don't know.
have you never been to Nashville? Have you?
No, I haven't.
You've never been to the places I'm describing. After you be there and you experience it, you'll understand.
I mean,
what
I
I'm saying.
understand the gist of what you're saying. I do get it. I do get what you're trying to say. It's just like there's no way to do that here. It already is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
think
it's
there's a
got
way
its-
to do it.
It's got its own personality, and I kind of like the personality that we have here.
I think you keep the way it is, but I still think you can still designate a whole. There's many blocks. that are
You're
just empty.
asking for us to take bars from different places, like the most popular bars
I'm not
from
telling them
different
to move.
places and like trying
He's
to get
he's
it
talking
all
about like developing
together.
a new area.
Just a whole new keep everything where it's at, but develop a whole new
I think
area
part
that's
of-
just
I think-
designated
I think-
to like having a good time.
I think part of the
and like music, live music all the time.
I think part of the charm, like the attractiveness of Detroit, especially people like coming from the suburbs like us to go to Detroit, is the different personalities of the different neighborhoods. Like I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I can go to Midtown and get a pizza at Jolly Pumpkin or Detroit Brewing Company, and then like go downtown if I want to like go to something that's like a club or upscale,
Yep.
or if I want to go have a beer at the fucking brewery, go to Corktown. Like like there's different vibes, and I like that. It's all in one city. We have everything. It's spread out, yeah, but it's spread out because the neighborhood.
It's not that far apart.
every
though.
Yeah, it lends
every
itself to
city
it.
is like that. But every city has an area that is
You know why Detroit
designated.
did that? Because we wanted to be different.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
why.
It's
No,
personality.
because
You know
we're
why? 'Cause
underdeveloped.
Detroit
That's why
ain't
we
like
also
no
don't have
other
public
city.
transportation.
We have public-
It's
we got-
trying to get
we got
better.
scooters, bro.
It's-
Yeah.
You can scooter everywhere.
You can bike. You can
Trust
get.
me, I've scootered everywhere in
You
that
get a
city.
mogo.
It took us to 2020 to get
everywhere.
reliable public transportation, and it's not even from the city. It's from fucking Bird and Lime.
Yeah.
Hey, Bird, Lime, Spin. You
Yep.
got Mogo.
Yep, you got them
Happy
bikes
ass on
now,
the
those are
bike.
tight.
Go
Or just Uber. There's a billion Ubers
Uber.
in Detroit.
You can lift.
This is what is a shame.
You can
This
take
la-
the
this is
Q
my
line,
last-
dog. Have you took the Q line yet?
Hey, fuck
Yeah,
the Q line. I
it's
kind of
slow
hate
as
the
hell.
Q line. I'm not gonna lie.
Here,
I have
waste
some
of money.
serious. We can talk about the Q line at some point because I fucking hate the Q line. What a waste of money. Yes, I agree with you on that.
I agree.
This is the only thing I gotta say about it.
Smells like piss, dude. We went on it the first day it opened. Remember? We went to a Tigers game. We went on it the first day it opened. It was fucking packed. There was no air conditioning, and somehow it opened 3 hours ago. It already smelled like piss. Like fuck the whole
Good.
thing.
Yeah. The last thing I have to say about this bar thing, Nashville, on every street, it's known for the country music. They have on the one street you can go to every bar and there's country music. Every other bar there is rap music, there is rock music in different bars. I think the shame is that we are known for fucking Motown. We're known for fucking techno. There should be a street dedicated to bars
I think
where
he
that
just wanna
music
hear
is
some country
constantly
music
fucking
up
playing.
here.
Bands are constantly playing that music.
Yeah.
We show up in
Live.
the bar and do that. How about that?
Yeah. I don't think you need a whole street for that.
Just one bar.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you coming in here? This is everything you hearing.
Right.
Know why? Because
Or like it would have to be several bars. 'Cause, like I don't want to go to the techno bar. I mean that's just me. Like
I'm just
oh
saying.
no, I
as a
was just saying
musician,
one
it's a
bar
shame.
that plays all that.
oh yeah, for sure.
Just-
Just like Sound of
yeah.
Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Name it. Sound of Detroit. Boom. $1 million idea. You're welcome. I'll buy in. Minority.
I want a whole
Somebody
block.
gonna walk in and be
I
like,
want a
"Oh,
whole
I
fucking
jam with
block."
this." Our fist pumping.
For sure.
Next
You go,
song.
you go from techno to you go from techno to
Temptations?
Motown.
Fist pumping. It was just my imagination.
Or you blend them together. You could be onto something.
Snaps.
All right.
Something going.
We're already an hour in, so let's keep this thing moving.
All right, well, let's skip some of this coronavirus news. We'll just go over it fast, or it doesn't matter. We'll
What's
just
the
tell-
coronavirus? We talk about it all the time.
I just want to say I went to the Belle Isle yesterday with my girl, and somebody was walking to the water, and I was like, "That Corona water! I'm getting that Corona water."
We'll go over real quick. Shakespeare's Globe Theater is facing closing down over coronavirus. That was a dog walking down the stairs, everyone. You'll probably see it on the tape. So Globe Theater, Shakespeare, is closing down. Okay, great story. Next story, Orlando. They're going to try to do the first drive-in music festival. Good luck with that, Orlando.
That would actually be tight. Like to take a van and just like chill in your van for the music festival. But there's no
what
way they're
happens
gonna.
when you gotta piss?
There's no
what
way.
happens when you gotta shit?
There's no way they're gonna keep people apart. But like, hey, I don't understand. I guess I don't understand the logistics behind it. But like being able to just like drive your van in and have somewhere to sleep and like camp out for
Yeah.
the weekend would be cool.
Yeah,
Orlando's a weird fucking place, man. What a weird city.
yeah.
I've only been once,
Dude.
and that's because I flew in there
On accident?
Yeah.
Orlando is like.
You
I
know?
think I recall that.
Yeah, because you had to pick me up.
Did you like? Okay, so you like left the airport, you like actually went into Orlando. Orlando is like the fucking nightmare tourist town. It's like the definition of what like I feel like Europeans think that America is. Like you got like buildings shaped like wizards and shit. It's the fucking
Yes.
weirdest.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It
America!
It is the weirdest city in the world,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, we had drove around for a little bit and then went to Universal Studios. Was it?
Oh, Universal.
Studios?
Yeah, we went to Universal.
Universal's awesome. Disney is hell on earth.
Yeah, that drive back though. Whew.
Yeah, it was a long drive.
I'm sorry, I napped on you. I did. I napped for about an hour or two.
Last coronavirus thing. This is a New York Post. I don't know how reliable they are, but I'm gonna say very reliable because I like this article. Scientists believe cannabis could help treat coronavirus.
I mean, that makes sense why I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, that's why. There you go, baby.
I mean, I'm sure Scott knows I'm a on and off smoker, so every now and again I do smoke. So, I mean, it might be helping.
I like going waves. Sometimes I smoke a lot. Sometimes I don't. I have been smoking a lot since coronavirus started because I mean I'm at home and I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And knock on wood, still corona free. So I like the correlation means causation, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Next topic. Donald Trump has been taking hydrochloroquine, or however you say that, because I don't think I just said it right. But he's been taking that, is what he's been saying, is what he's been doing to avoid getting coronavirus.
I heard.
1, do you believe him? 2, how long is he going to last taking this? 3, is he an alien?
No
yes
comment.
to all.
I like that.
I do believe he's fucking taking it. And of course, he was like pushing that stuff when this thing started. He was all about like, oh, we got this wonderful drug.
I heard from scientists that like he should not be taking that.
Wait
at
a
his age,
second. Can you
especially
do
for not
that
having-
impression again? Do your Donald Trump voice.
No, my Donald Trump voice is not very good, but
Don't
we
worry.
got this drug. It's the best. Great science. Science tells me that it's gonna work. Hydrochloroquine. You take that. You golf 6 times a week. You eat nothing but McDonald's, and you're fabulous.
And you spray tan. Yeah. So.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, honestly.
Yeah, me either. I just think it's crazy. He's a crazy old man. So U.S. Navy. This is all gonna tie into one little subject. I'm gonna do it really fast. It's my conspiracy theory of coronavirus. Not really coronavirus, but just conspiracy theory. And it's all adding up. So, U.S. Navy created the first laser gun thing that they can kill people with. Like on the ship, just laser people from far away.
It's about time.
Okay. Kind of irrelevant. But I think we're at a secret war with China right now. And these are like 4 articles that just kind of... well, this isn't an article that had to do with China, but Trump terminates relationships with who?
Yeah, I heard that yesterday.
But Trump takes historic action to move pharmaceutical manufacturing out of China. He pulls all of our manufacturing of our pharmaceuticals out of China. Trump is to expel thousands of Chinese grad students in the U.S. who have ties to Chinese military schools. And the Senate just passed a bill delisting rogue Chinese companies from the stock market.
It's a rogue company.
I think it's just lots of different Chinese companies that they're going to say aren't reliable. They're just pulling. I told you a couple weeks ago we talked about it. They pulled us from Chinese equities on our retirement accounts.
Yeah.
Now they're doing all this stuff. I really just think we're just trying to we're blaming China for coronavirus. They're blaming us. I just think this is like some weird, started with a trade war, now it's some kind of like virus war, and then it's going to turn into some even more of a trade war until it gets even crazier. I don't know. I just think shit's spiraling out of control with China, and we're just kind of distracted with everything else, not paying attention to like what he is doing with China right now. And I don't disagree that we should be out of China with a lot of this stuff. I'm just afraid of like his speed of pulling out as fast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
he's fucking with them so bad.
I can tell you firsthand, there's nothing wrong with pulling out fast.
Pull out game strong.
Yeah. Only good things come from pulling out fast.
All right, give me 1 second.
I thought you was about to say, give me one reason.
Did you pause it?
No, it's still going. I'm just gonna feed him.
Hey, we about to bullshit talk right now.
Go.
I'm about to pee it real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? It's your friend Nelly talking to you. Hope y'all are doing lovely out there. I want y'all to tell me about y'all day in the comments. If we have any comments, I hope we got comments. It's the first time on the show, you know. I'm just here chilling, drinking on an Imperial Stout. Hope y'all having a lovely day drinking on something you love. Maybe smoking a little bit of, you know. I want you to keep everything I just said in there, Ian.
All right. How do you feel about my China conspiracy?
China? Like, what you eat on?
No, China, like Triple H's ex lover.
R.I.P. One of my favorite female wrestlers.
Like
No.
night in China?
You pee over there?
Yeah.
You don't have a bathroom over there.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Is that where I thought that was where the bathroom was at.
No, when did you build a bathroom down here?
Year and a half ago.
Wow, never started. Not. In your sink, sorry.
It's all right.
I washed it down.
I know. I heard it. I was like, "Is he over there instead of over there?"
I legitimately didn't even know you built a bathroom over there. Good for you.
I know when I was going up, he said that it was a bathroom down here. That's why I thought you meant over there.
That's what I thought. Come over here all the time. Didn't even know. That's what I was observing I am, I guess.
All this time doing the podcast. Ain't even know.
I go over here all the time. I have no idea. Whatever. Okay. I washed it down. We're good. Don't tell Rachel.
Scrubbed it with some Lysol, too.
What do you think of my Chinese conspiracy?
I mean, I think that there's definitely like
A war going on? Not necessarily tied in with COVID,
yeah,
but you don't think there's
not like an armed,
something
not like an
behind
armed
scenes.
conflict, but yeah, there's a trade war. There's definitely like serious economic tension between us and China. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I think that to some degree, I kind of agree with Trump that China's had us by the balls for too long. Like, we rely on them too much, but I don't know what the long-term fallout will be from us pulling out, and I guess
No kid.
I'm just afraid we're fucking with their money and their economy. Because I think when we pull out, other countries are gonna pull out. They're gonna go somewhere else. Like, everything's gonna. I think we're purposely doing this to try to hurt their economy. And I don't know. I think right now we got Trump, who's more of like a dictator, who like doesn't like to be told no on anything. And then we got an actual dictator running China, and we got both these. Is he a dictator? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
One.
So we got like these two people that are so hard-headed that are just, neither of them are gonna just meet in the middle. Like, I just see this ending like just, I don't know, bad over just. I don't know. Like, I agree. We need to pull out. Like I said,
Yeah.
I just think the speed of everything is kind of like purposely poking a bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're purposely just trying to like fuck with them to make them be like, to show them who's boss. You know what I'm saying? You're just purposely just poking them. I'm just waiting to see what the retaliation is.
What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
What are
I
they
mean,
gonna
they
do?
got
What are they gonna
billions
do?
of people.
What are they gonna do?
They gonna send them all over here at once?
Yeah.
It's not gonna do nothing.
Like, I get what you're saying, but did you ever think about, like, fuck them? No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. China is, honestly, in all seriousness, I get what you're saying. I mean, China is a very powerful country. It is.
And I feel like they're one of the countries that, like, have always gone under the radar as, like, we're always worried about, like, Iraq and Russia and South Korea.
Oh,
and I
China,
feel like China, I mean, we've always worried about them,
China
but we've always been,
is a world superpower.
Yes.
Oh, China is a world superpower for sure. I mean, like I said, they're a powerful country. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question, honestly. Like,
I'm just saying. Just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah.
China's fucking crazy, and we're fucking with them, and I'm worried about it.
I don't worry about anything anymore because the world is
Sure,
already
they gonna
ending.
come get you at night.
Here's a real question. Ready?
What?
If we pull everything out of China, are those two dollar stores behind my house going to close?
Probably.
Here's the other dilemma.
Actually, no,
I don't
I
know.
think
I don't know if I'm happy about that or if I'm sad about
I
that.
feel like a lot of dollar
I was
store
like, do you
stuff
go there that much?
is made in
Sometimes, yeah.
is made in Taiwan. I was shocked that dollar store sells beer or White Claw, which
Yeah, they just recently
Shout out
started
White
doing
Claw.
it.
White Claw for when you want to be basic. Anyways, I was shocked that they sold that, but hey, cheers to them.
What is it? Ain't no laws when you're drinking White Claws.
That's right.
There you go.
I just like them because they don't sit on my stomach very heavy. I can drink like 12 of them and still feel good.
Oh, very true. That's why
All
I
right.
kind of don't drink them.
Well,
They are kind of dangerous
I
sometimes.
need something to just get me there and
Yeah.
pass out.
that was all the topics I had besides the main topic that has happened within the past few. Was unraveling the last week.
Okay.
So I guess let's talk about it.
Lead us in.
Michael Floyd murdered. Riots. I don't know where you guys want to start. We can start with the murder.
I will say, didn't I watch the video? And most times when it comes to things like this, I don't watch the video.
I'm with you, and I hope it doesn't
it's
make me
just-
sound ignorant. Like, I read all up on it. I didn't want to watch the video. I don't want to
No.
watch somebody get murdered like that.
I-
It's a horrible, horrible thing that happened to Michael Floyd, and it happens way too fucking often. But I don't need to see that with my own eyes. I'm sorry.
Like watching like movies, like horror movies and like war movies, like that's fine. It's not real.
Right.
But actually seeing a real life person
Yeah.
get killed, it's totally different.
100%.
And if you can sit there and watch someone get killed like that, congrats to you. I can't do it.
No, I agree with you. I actually think there's something kind of disturbing about people who just watch it, and the fact that the video has been shared so many times and is just so prevalent, like on social media and like on the internet, and it's just everywhere. A video of a man being murdered, like
That's how desensitized most America is.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, society now is desensitized. I remember like seeing shit like that when we were kids. Like, you'd like watch something like on I don't know, rotten.com or like Faces of Death. You guys remember those Faces of Death videos? And
yeah.
like, it was like a taboo thing. It was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
look at this. This is a video that is and every social media platform everywhere that you can watch this shit happen without even, kids can access this, and like it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like acceptable. Like, I'm with you, man. I can't watch
Yeah,
it. It makes me
it's-
sick to my stomach.
I will say this is just one thing that was shown to me today. Someone went on Snapchat and like posted a picture of him and like was like, this man said he can't breathe, and it was a like arrow pointing to his nose and his lips, like, look at them, no, look at that big nose, look at them lips, like, what you mean you can't breathe? I'm like, really? Like,
It's disgusting.
that's terrible. And what's crazy, the dude left his location on. So like,
Are you
the
serious?
dude who shared that left his location on. Like, someone's gonna find you.
Well, I hope so.
who's
I hope
seriously
so.
pissed about that. Like, that's not something to joke about.
Well, I mean, like you said, I mean, honestly, I think what you're kind of, bringing up is like, it's so fucked up that, number one, that these things keep happening, obviously, which is why we're in the situation that we're in across the country. It started in Minnesota, where this happened, and now we're seeing protests and everything short of and including riots all across the country because this keeps fucking happening, and there is a fucking problem here. Obviously, there's a problem here, but the fucked up thing is exactly what you're saying, is that like people who aren't involved in this, like showing their true colors and
trying to
and like being prideful about the fact that they're so fucking ignorant and closed-minded and racist, out and out racist, and thinking that that's okay. It's crazy to me, and I guess because I'm white and I live in a bubble, and I am very fortunate, to have the things that I have, that like this is honestly the world that we live in. As much as I think a lot of people have tried to deny it, and at times I have too, because I don't want to believe it's true. It's true. That's the world we live in, and it's fucked, dude.
And I want to shout out all my family members or friends who went downtown and protest yesterday about 4:00 for this. Like, shout out to y'all for actually going down there. Peaceful protest from what I seen. And then I don't know where it flipped, but it flipped towards the end of the night, which was terrible.
I want to actually kind of get to that, and I feel like my thoughts on that is I feel like some people, my fear, I guess, not my thought, is when that shit happens, when there's protests like that, I fear that people purposely go there to instigate, like you said, to purposely try to make it is the worst possible scenario out of it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make conflict.
I think that the thing is that there's two groups of people who go for the wrong reasons. There's the group that's just like thrives on chaos and is waiting for an opportunity to go and like be the worst that they can be, and like have an outlet to be able to just be destructive, horrible, negative forces in the world. And then I also think that there's a risk that there's a group of people that go to these protests with the intent of making the protesters be discredited. Like they go.
That's my whole point.
They go to do these things to make the protest look invalid by causing chaos. You know what I mean?
Like I don't want to say right wing, but let's be honest, that would be the people that would do it. More right wing people that are conservative and more racist people go there purposely to spark it and make it seem like they're they're on the side, but really they're there to throw the bottles at the police, because that's actually kind of what started it. I don't know if when I was watching it, they were just kept throwing like someone in the background. It wasn't anyone in the front of
that's
the
why
thing.
I also pointed out the time frame, like from like I said, from 4 until maybe like 7:30, almost 8ish. I know for sure, like it was straight peaceful.
Yeah,
like 100%. I watched a couple people different live feeds, and there was nothing going on like being violent. And then when I started back watching, it was probably like 10:30, and it was just like people having a standoff with the cops. Like, we already protested. Why are y'all out here?
Right.
There's nothing more to be said. Like, we said our piece. Let us go home.
Do you think that there's people like that feel like a protest isn't valid unless they're having the standoff with the cops? Like, if there is no like
there's probably some out
like
there, yeah.
antagonist, like you know what I mean? Like, what are you accomplishing without somebody pushing back? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's the right way of thinking. I just wonder if that's how some people's line of thinking is. You know?
No, for sure. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who's like, it's not a protest unless there's violence. Like, no,
I agree.
It's always protest without violence. That should be the way
I think that they're more effective without violence. You know, and I don't blame people in this situation in particular for reacting the way that they're reacting, because, as I said, this shit's been going on for way too fucking long. The system is broken. Something needs to change, especially like in Minnesota where this just happened. Like, their reaction is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do think that overall, there's a lot of loss of credibility when it turns to looting and to violence, and you know what I mean. I think it's harder to get. I'm not saying it's right, but I think it's harder to get your message heard and being taken seriously when you're being destructive, you know, as your means of voicing your.
The interesting thing though is we just talked about it, is there's video of the person that started all of that was a white guy, and there's conspiracy that it was an actual undercover cop.
And
He
I
was the
wouldn't,
first one to bust the windows out of the AutoZone.
and I wouldn't be surprised because I was just watching a video on Reddit this morning of Washington D.C. where there's protests going on, and it was like a guy, just like a normal citizen, like kind of filming shit, and there were police officers undercover dressed as like Antifa protesters who were going into the protest, like, and he basically called them out, and like he was like talking to them, and they were trying to downplay it, and then when he started being like, "Hey, are you cops?" They just like rolled their windows up and like ignored him because
Yeah. Like you never know who these people are, like, which is terrible, but like it can always be cops who started. Like no one will ever know, really.
It's so crazy
you try
too.
to call them out.
It's so crazy too because, like, you know, while I definitely agree that there's a huge problem in this country, like I kind of hate when people are like all cops are bastards. Like I hate that fucking shit. Like,
No, I
because
don't.
that's not true. Like we all know that that's not true. There's good and bad in anything, and I think that anytime that you make a generalization about that about any group of people, whether it's being police, their skin color, their fucking religion, anything, that you're off base. You cannot make a sweeping generalization about anybody and have it be true. So I fucking hate that. But I also understand why people take that hardline stance, because there is a feeling right now that it's the police versus the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I feel like there are good cops who are caught up in it, who are forced to choose sides that maybe don't want to, you know. And it's just like making things so much murkier because there is no way to distinguish, and then you kind of understand why people are so anti-police, you know, because people are choosing sides when there shouldn't be a side to be chosen. It should be, there's a fucking problem here, and everybody should be working together to fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very, very true. That's why me myself always say all cops are not bad cops. Like even like I have family friends who are cops, and like just last year I had a situation where something happened. Wasn't involving me, but it ended up I had to take care of it because my name came up, but knew the cop since I was younger. And literally once the court date came, it was all taken care of because I've known this cop all my life. Great cop.
Yeah, he knew who you were as a person, or like took the time to understand why you're involved.
Yeah, and a lot of cops, that's the job itself is a hard job. The job is to protect people, and I know a lot of the issue is them not doing that. But a lot of them, when they do sign up, that's what they sign up for. You know, is to help people and to try to like.
Also too
to help the community. You know, it's like to protect the community, and I know some people use that power for power, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
not do it the right way.
Yeah, I don't live my life, you know, with blinders on. Like there are a lot of dirty, crooked cops out there.
No, I agree.
There's a lot of fucking. Excuse me. It is a profession that can attract a certain kind of person, like you said, that's power hungry, or that like has little man syndrome and needs to feel like they have control over somebody else, or underlying straight out just is racist and uses that as a means to channel their need to oppress other people. That happens.
Yeah.
But it's not a sweeping generalization that's all cops is, to me, unfair way of looking at things, because there are people out there like the cop that you just mentioned that you know who are trying to make change from the inside. The sad thing is that because tension is so high right now, and because shit is the way that it is, and for good reason, is that those people don't have a voice anymore. You know what I mean? Because they're just caught up in the tide where they wear the badge, so they're on one side and we're all on the other side, you know?
Here's a question. Do you think the problem necessarily stems from the cops or the justice system?
It's everything. It's all fucked.
I know, but I'm saying, do you think if they fixed the justice system that there wouldn't maybe be as many cops that were like that?
I think the problem is...
If more cops were held accountable for the things that they did...
It's everything. I think the problem is that this country still empowers people who have fucking bigoted ideals and don't go out of their way to fucking hide the fact that they are openly, disparaging certain groups of people, and gives them the power, whether it's being police, the justice system itself, politicians themselves. Like there is systemic racism at every level of this fucking nation. I mean, that's just a fact, because there's a large percentage of this country that is so fucking ignorant that they can't see past the end of their own nose, and instead of like shunning these people to be the dregs of society, what they should be, they're still empowered to rise to positions where they have control and they have the ability to fucking channel these fucking Neanderthal ideals into action.
So, maybe about a week and a half ago, I won't say what documentary I was watching, but I was watching the documentary, and it was getting into it was an artist. It was getting into their background and like stuff that came out with them, and like it was bad. It was bad. The person was black, but like I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she was like trying to get me to see like what they did was bad, and I'm like, I know what they did is bad, but y'all are still holding that against them without seeing what he's like. Like I said earlier, you gotta understand where they're coming from,
right,
where this person is coming from.
Right. That was their opportunity, their only opportunity. What
like,
are you trying to say?
The why behind what?
Why they did it, and they was like, no, there's no like why they did it. I'm like, understandable, there might not be a why, but if you're trapped in this situation completely and there's no getting out of it, that might be your only reaction to do.
Absolutely.
And then like afterwards, like you don't want to do it, but it's like there's nothing I can do to get out of this, and then it happens, and then you're like, damn, I shouldn't have did it.
That's
Which
like,
the person said, it was like, I knew it was bad, but it was just I literally couldn't think of anything else to do, and it happened. I regret it. I've been paying for it. I paid for it. It's over, and people still bring it up.
Yeah.
And like I said, the person is black, and literally I feel it always, not always, but a lot of black people, like I said, personal lives I don't get into, but this was out in the public. He like literally, he got like downgraded, and people tried to get him like the worst thing they can do to him. Mm-hmm. But I feel if it was like a white person, like it wouldn't have been as bad.
No, you're 100%
It would have
right
been
about
like,
that.
oh, just a little slap on the wrist, like, oh, all right, you're gonna do this time, you're gonna do that time, do this and that, and it's over. But with them, even the news was trying to make it like a super big deal.
Yeah.
Like, no, just let it go.
No, I agree.
Not let it go, but he talked about it, he got over it, let it go.
I agree with you in that, like, we're all the same. At the end of the day, we're all the same. And when you're trapped in a situation like that, you come to a point where your instincts kick in, and it's fight or flight. And you're going to do what you got to do to get by. If you can't see any other way out of a situation, then you're going to find a way out of it. And that's true of anybody.
Yeah, it's basic psychology.
And you're 100% right that, like, for
man or woman,
for people of color,
fight or flight.
Yeah, for people of color, like, nobody, or too often, I should say, like, they don't take the time to give somebody the benefit of a doubt. There's no innocent until proven guilty. There is no rationale of why is this thing happening, or why is this person doing this thing. It's taken to an extreme. It's so fucked up. Like,
and it's almost not even a second chance either. No second chances.
No,
I feel like that's a problem just in general
there's
with everybody.
like honestly, there's not a fucking thing I can say, because I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Like, we got it way too fucking easy, and it's what's happening right now needs to be happening. I might not agree with all the means of the things that I'm seeing because of what I said, and because I agree with you. I think peaceful protest is a powerful tool, and I think that at some point, at these acts of aggression, tend to cause an argument to lose credence in some people's eyes and to lose power, to be taken seriously. But like, there is a real fucking need for change in this country, and anybody who says that there's not is just fucking ignorant and blind. Like, these things have been happening for years and becoming more and more prevalent in the public eye because of the social media age and because of the internet age. And like, it's so in your face now that there is no way that it can be ignored anymore. And these protests that we're seeing right now are just the result of that. It's people are fucking tired of not being heard. And I don't blame them. You know, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't blame any of them. I didn't know the protest yesterday was happening in Detroit, but I'm glad that it did. You know, I heard about it afterwards, as I said. So a friend of mine who lives down there was kind of filling me in. But that's fucking awesome. I commend everybody who went out there and did that. And all across the country. I'm glad to see, because too often these things happen, not just, you know, the killings by the police on black people, but like all these fucked up things happen in the world, and they happen in like one city, and that city reacts, and the rest of America just fucking closes their eyes and keeps on trucking and acts like it doesn't happen, because we are so fucking desensitized. Like you said earlier, Scott, we're all desensitized to human tragedy and people suffering and like the plight of one another. We just don't even fucking pay attention to it. It's not part of our day. It's not part of our fucking mentality. But to see like a real reaction happening across the country, where we're seeing all these cities. Like you said, what were you talking about? Was it you? No, somebody earlier was telling me about a protest that was happening in Iowa. Like, what the fuck is in Iowa? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't think it's the wrong way, but like, how many black people are in Iowa? Maybe that's ignorant of me, but like, hey, good for them. That's fucking awesome. That's what I want to see. These places that aren't directly affected of it taking a stand and being like, hey, we're with you. We're solidarity. That's awesome.
One of my favorite things that I've seen, someone protested. I forget where they lived, but when Trayvon Martin got killed, this guy literally walked from where he lived. Like, he lived like maybe 2-3 states away. He walked from there to where Trayvon Martin lived, and like walked there completely.
That's insane.
And like when he got there, like of course he was tired, so he broke down.
Yeah.
And somebody like took a picture of him and put that out, like, oh, this man walked from here to here. Somebody took that and flipped that. Black man, get off your knees. Like, you don't need to show that weakness. Like, you taking it in the wrong way.
Right.
He tired. He just walked here to show how much he support this. Like, y'all not gonna keep doing this.
Right.
And of course somebody gotta flip it in a bad way. Like, no.
That's always the case. Like, I saw a picture on Reddit the other day. I think it was yesterday, and it was like I wish I could say it was like a group of the caption was like a group of white protesters. Oh, that's what it was. It was a group of white protesters standing between the police and the black protesters. And like it was supposed to be like a powerful picture. And then the first comment was like, well, if you look, it's a group of women. Where's all the white men at? It's like, why do you got to go there, dude? Why do you have to go there? This is about solidarity. This is about people crossing, you know, like uniting with people who are different from them for a common cause that fucking we all should be standing up for.
Everyone's a critic, and they're going to find someone that
stuff out.
Yeah, it's like why do you have to further separate people? You know what I mean? Like,
it's just gonna happen. Like, oh, the white women are with them, but the white men aren't.
Yeah.
Like,
where's the cis white men at? It's like,
just because you doesn't see them, just because you don't see them, don't mean they're not there.
Right. 100%.
That might have been who they said, hey, y'all gonna stand in the front line.
And maybe this is me showing my privilege and showing my ignorance, but I feel like in the day and age that we live in today, at least in our generation, like the amount of people, white men, who feel or act in the way that causes these fucking things to happen in the first place, like out and out racist fucking scumbags, is pretty minimal. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know, but like, I feel like most people that I know, at least, and maybe I just associate with a good group of people, like, are 100% on board with everything that we're saying here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know too many people who are just like.
I can say I literally seen this post yesterday. I can't quote it word from word, but it was like basically, damn all the white races out there, because I know some great white people who's not racist.
Yeah.
And literally, I can vouch for that.
Dude,
I
there's
know
good-
some
there's-
great white
I
people who are fucking amazing, and no way, no how have they showed any racism towards me,
Well, it's like
or even around their other white friends.
It's like fucking anything else, man. Any group. There's good and bad in all of them. You know what I'm saying? White, black, Asian, gay, straight, man, woman. Like, there's good and bad in every fucking group. But I feel like we are at least starting to build a better world. I just think that there's a lot of the remnants of the old world that need to be rooted out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very much. Like, it's because it's always going to go back to if you're a black, like, basically, like, don't trust all white people because this is what, like, their ancestors did to us, and, like, vice versa. And, like, white people are going to be like, hey, I don't trust black people because, like, they do this or do that. Like,
Right.
no, there's...
It goes both ways, and
Like,
I think the message at the
gotta
end of the
move
day
past it.
is that we all got to work together to move past it, and we got to move past it. You know what I mean? We're never gonna fucking build a better world by continuing to look backwards. You know, and like I know that I'm not black, so like I don't have the same perspective, but like I just feel like the only way things are gonna change is for us to like actually communicate. And start to work together to go forward instead of just continuing to fucking berate each other for the fucking shit we've done in the past. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I just want to shout out Billy and Scott because they took me snowboarding and skiing for my first time. Scott took me down to Florida 2 times now. Wouldn't have went down there probably without him, but showed me great times every time I was down there. Went to Key West, which I love, which we need to go back.
Oh, we're going back.
So I just want to shout them out. Great friends of mine.
That's awesome. And my hope for this is that at everything that's happening right now, these fucking tragedies, this fucking awful situation that's unfolding right now, that this will be the catalyst for us to be able to accomplish what you and I are just talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This will be the catalyst for real change, and that we can like try to find a way to make a world that people can just fucking live in together, because we're all just fucking people. We're all the same.
And
Yeah.
it's like y'all was saying earlier. It goes back to the justice system. Like, once that like, if anybody can figure that out and get it all situated, then like it'll be so much better here.
Yeah.
So much better, because it's dysfunctional
It
right
is.
now.
I feel like the justice system is kind of like, well, it is politics, but it's kind of like where the politicians, it's kind of like everyone's greasing each other's hands, so everyone knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, every judge knows another judge, and that's kind of the root of the problem, is that everyone has like this way of doing things, and there's not enough. Maybe there isn't enough black judges or, you know, diverse judges out there that are able to change the system.
So maybe at the end of the day, with everything happening, you know, right now, and coronavirus and everything else, maybe economic collapse is the best thing that could happen for humanity. Honestly. Like you said, everybody's greasing the wheels, money's changing hands,
Yeah.
everybody's bought, paid, and sold for.
I think yes, but the thing I'm afraid of is when that happens, economic collapse, you got to realize computers, everything that like used to entertain us is gone. We don't have movies anymore, so I feel like that is going to turn people into like chaotic beings of like people killing each other over food and over water and over dumbass, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how we can go that far.
Well,
of, like,
I don't think
complete
that
economic.
I don't think that like an economic collapse, that like a depression or a recession, which, I mean, obviously that's not good for anybody, and I'm speaking in extremes here, but like, it doesn't mean that we're going to turn into like you know, Mad Max, like apocalypse, you know, end of the world scenario. It just means that like the playing field gets reset, is what I, you know what I'm saying? Like the hey, if something happens and our money no longer means anything, it has no validity,
Like, hey, it's
then
everybody's on
Yeah.
equal ground.
right.
Like,
It's crazy.
it's a crazy thought.
I think one message that we do definitely need to get out, though, is vote.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we vote, and we got to vote
BLM.
more locally, not just presidential shit. Like, that's when there's a judge going up for to become your judge. You got to go and find out what he stands for, because that's
You're so right
your
about
problem.
that,
True.
and that's something like I was so ignorant to for so long. Like since I basically turned 18, longest time I basically only voted for president because that's like the only thing that like I thought mattered. But the local elections, state elections, Congress, things like that, they're so fucking important. You're 100% right about that, and it's crazy to think about. You know, one thing that I guess I also was ignorant to, or I didn't really think about for a long time, is that like when you're voting for a president, even like you're not just voting for president, you're voting for Supreme Court justices. You know what I mean? Like
a party that's going to vote in
Yeah,
certain.
that stuff too.
like that's huge. That's a huge consideration. You know, like I've made no bones about it. I don't fucking like Biden. I don't trust Biden. I don't think that Biden's gonna live his entire term in the White House. I think that whoever is his vice president is going to end up the president. But exactly that, like the fact
I'm voting for Biden.
the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
the Supreme Court thing, his appointees, like the people in the other positions of power that really affect this country, that's huge. You know what I mean? Outside, we just lived through 4 years of Trump. You know, like.
And if Trump gets 4
what is
more
fucking
years
Biden
and-
gonna do? That's so much worse than Trump. But the people that he appoints are gonna be the ones who really shape what
Yeah.
happens in the next 4 years.
And there's
you know?
a huge rumor that RGB or RBG, yeah, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she might actually step down from.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So there's going to be another open Supreme Justice seat, and if Trump appoints it, you can definitely say goodbye to Roe versus Wade. The whole like abortion thing is going to be gone,
Well,
and whatever else. We can even go down what's going on with the country now.
there's a lot of things that
Yes.
would, yeah.
Very.
So it's like you got to make sure you go out and vote. I don't like Joe. Like you said, I don't like Joe Biden. I'm voting Joe Biden. He keeps sending me stuff in the emails like, vote for me, send me money, approve, blah, blah, blah. I just completely ignore him. Dude, you got my vote. Quit emailing me. I hate that you got my vote, but you got my vote.
Right.
And vote. Like we were saying, vote locally. Make sure you go out, pay attention to who is
I just want a
running.
disclaimer. I never tell anybody who I'm voting for, so it's still going to be that way. But
I don't
I
tell-
am going to vote.
Hey, I
But
don't tell anybody who I'm
it's-
voting for either.
hey.
Notice I did not say anything.
So,
I'm telling you to
just-
vote as well.
Hey,
I'm just saying
Just
that,
go out there and vote.
I
Yeah.
normally don't tell people who I'm voting for, but let's be honest. You guys know I'm not voting for Donald Trump, so I'm going to vote for Joe Biden.
I
I'm not
was
gonna
going
vote
to say
Green
no
Party.
one's voting for him, but he became president, so people's voting
no,
for
it's
him.
very scary. I mean, there's a very
So-
real chance that he's going to win again. I mean, realistically, I'm not happy to
Just
say it.
Get
but-
out there and vote.
And here, I've been a critic of Donald Trump, but I've also been. We've been on this podcast a
I
couple
love
times.
him
where
on the
we've haven't-
Apprentice.
There's things he's done that haven't been that bad. I mean, he's. Let's be honest, he's not a great president,
know.
but he's not.
He tried to get Lil Jon as the Apprentice. Come on now,
You try to get him what?
Lil Jon, the Apprentice, his TV show.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't watched that?
Uh-uh.
I watched that. That show was fun.
I actually feel like anytime that we were like not anti-Trump, we were more just like, oh, it's not as bad as people are making out to be. Like, I don't think we were ever like pro-Trump. I
No,
think
we
we were
weren't
more like
pro-Trump,
like,
but-
it's just not as bad as people are making it out to be, or like people are overreacting about things.
No, but I
you
mean,
know?
like, but you said like there's like the China thing. Like, I agree with that.
No, I'm just fucking around. Like, there are things, like, honestly, any president that you look at, there's been things they've done that have been positive. And that's no different with Trump. Like, he has done positive things. I do agree with him fucking leaving NAFTA. Like, I think that people just fucking wanted to stay in because it was a status quo, but I think it was the best thing for America if you really look into the ins and outs of it. I think we were getting a raw deal, and I don't blame him for that. I think that he is very pro-American business because that's where his interests lie, and that's where his friends are, and I don't have a problem with that either. And I don't, very unpopular opinion, I don't have a problem with securing the borders either. Maybe not the tactics that he's taken to do it, but every fucking first world country has secure borders to some degree. There's nothing wrong with that. So, hey, I don't think we need a wall. No, but I do agree that, you know,
hire
stricter
more border
border-
patrol.
yeah,
rules
domestic
and stuff.
security is an important thing, you know? So, hey,
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the funny thing is like there's less jobs in the country. Well, that would be a perfect opportunity to hire a lot of people for a job.
But
More border patrol.
at the end of the day, the point is just vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for. I mean, it matters who you vote for, but you have the right to vote for anybody you want is the point that I'm making, as long as you vote. If you don't vote, then I guess you really don't have a reason to bitch, right?
I'm voting Sleepy Joe.
You've told us.
Do you think if I cross out Joe...
I just want to say I'm throwing my name in the pool. Darnell Harris, a.k.a. Nelly, 2020 president.
I don't think you meet the
yeah,
age
you
requirement.
can't do it. You can't. You're not 35.
Shh. They don't know that.
Yeah, I got 3 more years.
That's what I've been thinking.
Yeah, y'all don't know that. Just gonna
Um,
call me out like that. Wow.
I don't. I was gonna say something stupid and I forgot because you're talking about you're running.
I don't know. We should probably cut
No.
this soon, though, because we're at like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get ready to cut this. This has been a long episode. What the fuck were we just talking about though?
Everything.
Oh, we just started.
President.
Before that, who knows?
Yeah, I'm brain farted. It's over.
It's over. It's all over.
All right, guys. This has been a long, drawn out episode that I might break up into 2 parts.
Boo.
Nah, just doing one.
Just do one long episode.
You're gonna cut some
Fuck
stuff
it.
out anyways that I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
on tape. So
But that wasn't that definitely wasn't 45 minutes worth.
no.
So all right, let's start this over.
This is what happens when you hit that fucking grenade thing and we
I
have
know.
beers when we're recording.
I know.
We started. We used to be like stone sober. We're not smoking weed. We're not doing nothing.
It's quarantine, baby. Come on,
So this is the Sorry If You're Offended podcast. This was another great episode, episode 16. It's in the books with our guest Nelly.
Holla.
That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We hope all of our topics were hot topics, and we hope we didn't offend anyone. And if we did, we're sorry. We hope you follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all those great things, and YouTube. And
Yeah, as always, like,
Yeah,
subscribe, leave a comment,
buddy.
share it with friends, give us some feedback, tell us what pieces of shit we are. Just validate the fact that I'm alive.
yeah, that'd be
Oh,
nice to know
for
if someone's
sure.
watching. I mean, someone's watching because we get plays and we're getting paid. I can't tell you how much we're getting paid, but we're getting paid big bucks. Big bucks.
What can I watch this on? Tell me what I can watch
Watch
this
it on
on.
YouTube.
Yes, we're on YouTube.
You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcast,
Ooh.
Anchor, or anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
Okay. I can't wait for it to come out and see how horrible I sound.
For those of you who are still on the Facebook, go like us on Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, all that stuff.
And share it with your friends. And yes, leave us comments. Would you like to do any last shout outs? Do you want to shout out anybody?
I was just going to say, let's do sponsors, non-sponsors.
All right. We don't have any. Our sponsor is Anchor.
Anchor, who hosts our podcast.
They're a great podcast. If you guys want to start your own podcast, do it through Anchor.
Yeah.
Non-sponsors?
All you need is like several $1,000s worth of equipment and an Anchor account.
Yeah. Non-sponsors. I'm gonna call out Quarters.
I'm going to shout out White Claw because I'm basic.
Yeah. You know I got to shout out my work. Founders, drinking that good. I've been drinking like 3 different beers through this, but I'm drinking on that Mazagave regular. But go get that
I would also
Mazagave
like
grapefruit.
I'd also like to give a shout out to my personal favorite sponsor, Weed.
Yes.
Oh,
Marijuana.
Always a good sponsor.
Marijuana.
Always. Scott, I feel Scott was supposed to be the one to shout that out, but he's slipping. He's slipping today.
It's because he's high.
No comment. That grenade
all right.
got me.
Again, thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yes,
It's great
thank you.
to
appreciate
come
We
back.
want to have you
Absolutely.
again. Yes, we'll have you
Hey.
in future episodes.
I just want to say next time we do it, can it just be like a random whatever we talk about?
I think because I feel like that's kind of what it turned into, and
Yeah.
that's why it took so long.
It's just
So I won't have as many. We actually kind of talked about that before.
That was like the idea for how the podcast started. Was like me and Scott just talk about like crazy random shit when we hang out, and like we like get into these crazy conversations like about anything, not just politics and shit. And then we're like, wow, we should make a podcast about this. And then like we never talk about crazy random shit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a lot. It was a couple of things. Like I was like, man, I want to kind of talk about this, but of course, you know,
I was trying to figure out a structure, but I kind of like that structure better.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I like every week.
Maybe
we have
like
to have a
every
guest.
10. Maybe like every 10 do like a just like a free for all.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I actually wanted to say because it's really, really weird. I'm on this. Let's take a hang out time. Let's end this real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
Love you guys. Thank you, Darnell.
you're not gonna thank me.
I'm gonna thank you. Well,
He couldn't get it out.
Yeah. he like literally looked at me like he was gonna thank me, and then he was like, "No, fuck you."
Did you forget his name?
We only do this every week. No big deal. I've only known you for 20 years now. It's all good.
Well, first off, I'm not gonna thank you. You're part of the podcast. We're thanking Darnell for being our guest.
Hey, I still like to feel gratitude
Right.
sometimes.
Thank you, Drew, for being a co-host.
You're welcome, Scott.
And
Hear a lot of editing coming up.
yep.
Thank you for editing all this bullshit.
Oh yes, it takes a long time.
All right, let's wrap this up for real.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys. Honestly, this is the Sorry If You're Offended podcast, episode 16. Thank you for listening. I'm Scott.
I'm Nelly.
And I'm Drew. Take care, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.